What's doing, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. If you've never been here before, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Everybody else, welcome back to the channel. If you've never been here before, I served 17 straight years in the New York prison system, and today we're just going to do a brief little video on fishing inside of prison, inside of jail. For those of you that have never heard the term before, fishing means that you are trying to create like a fishing line out of a ripped bed sheet, out of different things that I'll explain to you. And it's when you're locked in your cell and you need to get something from someone else that's in another cell, you go fishing. So how do you get something when you're locked in a cell and another guy is locked in another cell and you need to get it? You have to create a fishing line. A lot of people create a fishing line out of ripped bed sheet. They take a bed sheet, they rip it into small strips and tie them together. I used to use dental floss. I prefer dental floss. It's very strong. It can carry a lot of weight. It doesn't break easy. You tie a nail clipper to the end of the dental floss. That's what I used to use. And so to give you an example, if I was in 5 cell and everyone's locked in their cell and you want to get something from 30 cell, that cell is 25 cells away from you. So how do you get it? You go fishing. That's what the prisoners call it. We're going to go fishing. So what I would do in this circumstance is if the cell is next to me, 20 cells away, I would tie my nail clipper to the end of the dental floss, and then I would put my arm outside of the cell and swing the nail clipper with the weight, and then boom, and fling it down. Now, it might not go 25 cells. Let's say I only get it 10 cells down. Whoever cell it lands in front of knows what's going on. They reach out of their cell and grab it, or they use their own fishing line to grab it, and then they continue to send it down until it gets where it's going. You tell them, get that down to 25 cell, get that down to 50 cell, and the guys all work together to get the line down there. Once the line gets down there, whatever the product is that I want, it may be, I used to give you an example. My buddy would be cooking 25 cells away. The whole prison is on lockdown, for whatever reason. Let's say there was a stabbing in the prison and the prison's on lockdown. And so no prisoners are out moving around. My buddy, 25 cells away, is cooking inside of his cell. He wants to send me a bowl of food. So he says, yo, fish, send the line. So I go fishing. I take the nail clipper, send the line down to him. When the line gets down to him, he puts the food, it's in a bowl, he puts it inside of a net bag, ties it up, ties the net bag to the fishing line, then he tells me, bring it in. And then boom, I reel it in. And you just see a bowl of food in a net bag moving down the company until I get it in front of my cell and then I pull it in. So that's really what fishing is. Fishing is used in solitary confinement a lot. Because the prisoners don't come out of their cell at all, and so the guys, because they're locked in their cell, there's only like a 1 inch gap at the bottom of the door. Let me show you a quick little video about guys fishing in solitary confinement so you could have a great idea. Check out this little video right here. So as you see in that video, it looked like they were moving newspapers around, right? And little pouches. So they move everything around. They move magazines, they move drugs, they move weapons. You could pass anything like that. If the officers see it, of course, they try and catch the line. There are officers that make a big deal about it. They don't like fishing at all. So they'll come out and they'll try and catch the line and cut the line with a knife. There's other officers that they really don't care. If you want to move stuff around, you'll move stuff around. So that's really what fishing is. And some guys are really, really good at it. So I'll give you an example of a really intense, not intense, but a really cool fishing story. Okay. I was in Sing Sing at this time, and I was on the visit. And while I was on the visit, the whole prison went on lockdown. They decided to lock the entire prison down. This was 1999, going into 2000, what they called Y2K, and the prison was afraid that there was going to be a big riot during Y2K, and they found some bullets in the firebox because an officer planted the bullets. That's a whole nother story. But they decided to lock the prison down, and they're escorting us back to our cells. I had just picked up some marijuana on the visit, right? So I had a whole bunch and really good pot. And so I tell my buddy, a Russian guy, Nikolai, I says, I like to smoke with me and Nikolai used to smoke together. I said, Nikolai, I have the weed. I says, but we're on lockdown. There's going to be no way for me to get it to you. The reason why it will be hard to get it to him is I was on Q Gallery, which is the flats, and he was on our gallery, which was above me, and I was in 61 cell, and he was in one cell. So for you to follow that, he was one company up and 60 cells over. It's very far, right? And this is how we did it. I got back to my cell. I waited till it was really late at night, and the prison echoes in Sing Sing. And I call him one company up, 60 cells away. I have to make a correction. He was more than one company up. He was like 3 or 4 companies up. And I holler at him, Nikolai. I says, I'm sending the line. I'm sending the line. And I use dental floss with the nail clipper. And I make my line and I fling it as far as I can. And it gets about 15, 20 cells over. So I shout out, yo, you see the line? You see the line? My buddy says, I got it. I says, get that down to one cell. Get it all the way down to one cell for me. And then he grabs it. He fishes the line, pulls it in. He sends it down 20 more cells. Then that guy fishes it in, pulls it in, sends it down 20 more cells. So everybody's working together. And we move this dental floss 60 cells away. Once it's 60 cells away, we tell Nikolai, yo, Nikolai, the line is below you. So now Nikolai, who's in one cell, 60, he takes his nail clipper and he's trying to get it out of this fence. There's a chain link fence. Because when you come out of your cell, there's what they call the catwalk and then a chain link fence so nobody could be thrown off. Right? So he's got to take his nail clipper and he's got to get it through the chain link fence. Once he gets it through the chain link fence, it's going to drop 3 stories right in front of one cell. And what he does is he drops the line, grabs it, gets the weed, pulls it up. I had weed on the line. I sent weed down. So now Nikolai throws his line out. It immediately falls 3 stories right in front of one cell. They take the weed off, tie it to Nikolai's line. Nikolai pulls it up. He got the weed. This was 3 companies up, 60 cells over. You're talking over 100 yards away, a football field away, and 3 stories up. I was able to get him the line, right? You say, does anyone mess with the line? Nobody messes with the line, because if you mess with the line, you could lose your life. You're not messing with somebody's line. And that's what, if somebody takes the weed off, they'll get stabbed up when the prison gets off a lockdown. And so that's what fishing is. That's how guys move stuff around when they're locked inside of their cells. And it doesn't necessarily just have to be during a lockdown. It could be at nighttime, at 10 o'clock at night when you're locked down and you're not going to come out of your cell till the morning. You may need to get something from another prisoner. You may need to deliver something to another prisoner. And that's how you do it. You do it by fishing. So I figured it would just be a brief little video to explain fishing to you, and that's how it works. I'll see you guys later.